Well, what's going on, YouTubers? It's the Natural Born Thriller, and welcome everyone to WWE SmackDown and 205 live review. The shows from March 26, 2019. So let's get to what happened on WWE SmackDown live review for the show March 26, 2019. They were at Newcastle, Connecticut. Your commentators were Tom Phillips, Byron Saxton, and Corey Graves. So the show opened up with the New Day, which, Kofi Kingston, Big E, Xavier Woods, they all come out there, doing their dancing and gyrating and then doing pancakes and all that. Guys are supposed to be serious about what happened with Kofi Kingston last week and everything. And then they came to the ring, and then all of a sudden they almost started acting serious after they stopped doing the dancing and gyrating. Because Xavier Woods says if they can be serious for a minute, basically pulling off a Lamb Storm. Because if you remember Lamb Storm, his catchphrase is always in WCW and his time in WWE. If I could be serious for a minute, so Xavier Woods decided to go if they could be serious for a minute, basically. So basically they cut a promo. For nearly 5 years, the New Day's been around. Yes, they've been around for that long. If you can believe that, they've been around longer than the Shield, and to a degree, you could say they've been around longer than D Generation X. So Big E and Xavier Woods were speaking on behalf of Kofi Kingston, and I was just watching this. I'm saying to myself, so why is Kofi Kingston talking at all? He's got a mouth, he's got a voice, he can talk. He's not mute. He's not EC3. He can talk for himself. Why can't he talk for himself? Does Vince McMahon not trust Kofi Kingston to trust, basically for him to talk on his own? Why are Big E and Xavier Woods doing all the talking? Now I understand, Big E and Xavier Woods, they're good, they're very good talkers too on the mic, but so is Kofi Kingston. I don't understand this at all, but basically they were threatening to quit the company, and I see myself, it could have been done better, it could have been done differently, but instead they decided to go with this route. Just what New Day just saying that they want to quit. But before they do make that decision, they say they for Vince McMahon to come out to know why they're not giving Kofi Kingston this opportunity. So Vince McMahon comes out. All of a sudden, Daniel Bryan comes out to interrupt, and Daniel Bryan said to Vince McMahon, "They let the New Day quit, let them quit." And then what pertains to calling up 3 new members, up from NXT to come to the main roster. You could do something with those guys, and they could be called the Fresh Afternoon. And basically saying that they could get more popular than the New Day. Whereas instead of pancakes, it could be waffles. And Dan Brown once again kept saying Kofi Kingston is a B+ player, like he's been saying for 4 weeks now. Talk about how he lost at Fastlane, he lost at Elimination Chamber, he lost the Gauntlet. And Vince is trying to talk, but basically he had New Day as well talking. Big E and Xavier Woods. Dan Bryan is talking to everyone's talking. All of a sudden, this man starts doing this shut up gimmick. Shut up. So basically, this man got to talk and talks about you guys want to quit and everything. You want to quit, basically saying no, you guys can't quit because you won't quit. You're not going to quit. So what happened after that? This man decided to make a gauntlet match for not for Kofi Kingston, but for the New Day, to see if Big E and Xavier Woods, just like with Kofi Kingston, who is a B+ player, to see if Big E and Xavier Woods as New Day are a B+ team, basically a B+ tag team. So if that's what Vince McMahon decided to do, to have these guys in the gauntlet match, attacking this time differently. Like last week, Kofi Kingston going through a singles gauntlet match. Now Big E and Xavier Woods, New Day are going through a tag team gauntlet match. For the rights of Kofi Kingston to go to WrestleMania to face Daniel Bryan for the WWE Championship. And all New Day has to do is run through the gauntlet and win. And we'll get to that momentarily. So yeah, opening segment. Like I said, I could have done it better. Then New Day threatening to quit. They should have the entire roster. Do the whole thing that they're just gonna quit. They're just gonna walk out. That would have been more beneficial than New Day just quitting. Because Vince McMahon doesn't really need does Vince McMahon really need New Day around? When you look at the storyline wise, does Vince McMahon really need these guys just for people to pop for and to entertain on a weekly basis? Because there's always someone else that could come into the mix as well, like what Dan Bryan said. Someone on three people from NXT could come up and be called the fresh afternoons, and they could throw waffles around. Like a carbon copy of New Day, but more manlier, basically. Because the way the New Day's been carrying himself, not been a fan of it. But yeah, but either way, we'll get to that later on. The gauntlet match that took place, the tag team gauntlet match, basically. Where it tends to run through the entire tag teams. You think, by the way, you think that they're gonna run through the entire tag teams? That's not the case at all. We'll get to that later. So Becky Lynch is being interviewed by some blonde chick who's from NXT, who does some interviews too. I can't remember her name. I don't think they even mentioned that she was her name at the time on NXT. But she's there on SmackDown. I think she may have been on Raw at one point too, or something. Maybe I could have been wrong, but anyways, so she interviews Becky Lynch, what pertains to the main event of WrestleMania for the women's, basically for Ronda Rousey, Raw Women's Champion versus Charlotte Flair versus Becky Lynch, and basically Becky Lynch makes a case about what pertains to the main event of WrestleMania, where Ronda Rousey is the Raw Women's Champion. Becky Lynch is who won the bragging rights of the Beat the Clock challenge on that, which again made no sense too, probably folks. When you really think about that, made no sense. Where they had this Beat the Clock challenge, but they never explained what was the reason behind that. Not when they announced it, not when the commentators on were talking about it too as well. They didn't. There was no purpose of that. There was no point of it. So I was thinking to myself at the time, what's the point of this? Like, it's not gonna advance the main event of the women's for the women's for WrestleMania. It was all just about bragging rights for who could win matches, who could win the matches faster, I guess. It's ridiculous. Thirsty. Anyways, point is, Becky Lynch is bringing up some things that Becky Lynch and Charlotte Flair, that Becky Lynch and Ronda Rousey is bringing something to WrestleMania, and saying what Charlotte Flair is bringing, because she's a third wheel and everything. And I was like, thank you. She is the third wheel, because when it pertains to the third wheel, she's what's the word I also used before too? An afterthought. She was an afterthought on this whole thing with Becky Lynch and Ronda Rousey. That should have been the main event for WrestleMania, not with Charlotte Flair in there. So as Becky Lynch is continuing talking about this, how Charlotte Flair is also undeserving. Charlotte Flair's music hits. She comes out, and this is the part where I took my earbuds off, but instead I decided to keep it on, because Charlotte Flair says that they're real, undeserving, and she says she'll show how undeserving she is, and then she goes, "Woo!" Charlotte, being Ric Flair, her like a dad, but so Charlotte Flair is in the ring, and all of a sudden, Asuka comes out, the SmackDown Women's Champion. And I see myself, what is going on here? So as Asuka gets in the ring announcer, Greg Hamilton, makes the announcement that is for the SmackDown Women's Championship. And I see myself, what? So they went at each other just for a few seconds, and they went to commercial break. After the commercial break, they continue on wrestling, and I'll admit, from the beginning of the when it first started, you couldn't really give your thoughts of you couldn't get your own thoughts on do it because this came out of nowhere. But then as we get back to the match after the commercial break, it ends up being pretty good. It's no surprise there. Charlotte Flair is a good wrestler. Asuka is also a good wrestler. Both of them are very good. Just like from last year WrestleMania, it was a good match. They're doing it again. Put this on SmackDown on free TV. But basically, we had 2 commercial breaks during this match. So Charlotte Flair and Asuka were going to add in this match. Pulling out some very good moves. Even Charlotte Flair was pulling out some good moves too. So there were a lot of counters after counters, reversals after reversals. All of a sudden, Charlotte Flair goes for her figure 4 bridge, and she bridges to the figure 8. And I was having a flashback from last year at WrestleMania, where Asuka lost to the figure 8 by Charlotte Flair. And it happened again. Asuka taps out to Charlotte Flair. So winner and new SmackDown Women's Champion, Charlotte Flair. And that was the opening match for SmackDown. And how do I feel about this? It was bullshit. At the same time, Asuka's reign of SmackDown Women's Champion didn't mean anything at the end of the day. Yeah, she may have won back at TLC because Ronda Rousey was the reason why she won. And then she beat Becky Lynch at Royal Rumble, making Becky Lynch tap out. Then after that, what they done for after that? Basically they had her not be on TV on SmackDown. Then when she ended up being on TV, she loses to Mandy Rose in a stupid way that they did it. And they had that match against Mandy Rose again at Fastlane for the title, where the match was garbage, not full of Asuka. But Asuka ends up retaining. And also, when we're supposed to be having a fatal 4-way match between Naomi, Carmella, Mandy Rose, and Sonya Deville, where the winner gets to face Asuka for the SmackDown Women's Championship at WrestleMania. But for some fucking reason, Vince McMahon decided to change his mind, like he always fucking does. And when Vince McMahon changes his mind about the shows beforehand, when plans change, everyone suffers. And Asuka suffered more of it because she lost again to Charlotte Flair. Are you fucking kidding me? And you're telling me Charlotte Flair winning the SmackDown Women's Championship title against Asuka, you're just going to give it away on free TV days before WrestleMania is coming around? Why couldn't this be the match at WrestleMania? What was the point of Charlotte Flair winning the SmackDown Women's belt? And then there was report out there that the reason why they did this, so that Charlotte Flair could go in at main event WrestleMania for the SmackDown Women's title as Ronda Rousey, who's Raw Women's Champion, so they could unify it. Well, that's great for that. After they fucked up the storyline, by the way, after they fucked up the build for that main event for Becky Lynch and Ronda Rousey, and then Charlotte Flair had to be added into it because the McMahons couldn't help themselves. But where's this leave with Asuka now? In the Women's Battle Royal? That's probably gonna be on the fucking pre-show. I don't know what to say at this point, folks. They fucked up Asuka again. They buried her again. Why even put the belt on her? I thought when they put the belt on her back at TLC, it's that, look, Asuka, we're sorry that we treated you like crap. Which they did. They treated her like crap ever since he lost to Asuka at Charlotte Flair at WrestleMania. Losing on the face streak, losing the mystique and everything. Losing every credibility that Asuka once had. So this, WWE is like, we're sorry about this. About everything we put you through. So here's your compensation prize. Here's the SmackDown Women's Championship belt. 8 months later. And I thought from there, it was gonna be better for Asuka, but it turns out it wasn't. When you look at it, folks, it really wasn't. And then we get to this part, portion of Asuka's and of a SmackDown Women's title reign. So now Charlotte Flair is the 8-time Women's Champion in WWE. And fuck Charlotte Flair for saying in the match to Asuka that you're not that special or something like that to that degree anymore. She don't give a fuck about Asuka. Not even the WWE gives a fuck about Asuka. Asuka at this point should just fucking go. Just get the hell out of there after WrestleMania or something. Because it's not worth it. Asuka deserves better. And now moving on. So we get AJ Styles backstage. He's interviewing about Kurt Angle. Because it's going to be AJ Styles versus Kurt Angle during Kurt Angle's farewell tour. AJ Styles, he is honored that he's going to be facing Kurt Angle in his last match on SmackDown. Saying that Kurt Angle may have had laid the foundation. But he says, AJ Styles, this is the house that AJ Styles built. Basically what pertains to SmackDown. Also puts him over that he's a Hall of Famer, has a great career and everything. And there you go. So we get AJ Styles and Kurt Angle having a match. They shook hands. They hugged. Kurt Angle goes for a German suplex. Kurt Angle goes for the Angle Slam over AJ Styles to counter. He goes for the calf killer. Kurt Angle goes for the ankle lock. Basically gets out of it. Styles pushes Kurt Angle, and gets out of there. Basically, and sends Kurt Angle to the turnbuckle. Excuse me. And also Randy Orton comes out of nowhere with an RKO onto AJ Styles, meant to say. Causing a DQ, so AJ Styles wins by disqualification. And Randy Orton continues to attack Kurt Angle. AJ Styles, excuse me. And then Kurt Angle attacks, basically saves AJ Styles, giving Randy Orton a botched Angle Slam. It was botched, folks. It looked terrible. All we can say is thank God he's retiring, because he looked like he can't hang anymore. Where it pertains to doing moves correctly now. Hell, he was even struggling trying to get in the ankle lock on AJ Styles. That's how badly Kurt Angle is right now in wrestling. But yeah, there you go. We got Rey Mysterio Jr. and his son Dominic. They talk about Samoa Joe again. Basically, this time they ain't referencing bullies. This time it was not about Samoa Joe being a bully. Basically, so basically it's just to put an end of Samoa Joe, because he basically it's about Samoa Joe doesn't care about anyone but himself. That's the story that they're telling you right now with Samoa Joe. Besides him being a bully from last week, but there you go. We get to The Miz. He comes out. He basically said almost like the exact same thing for last week, or pertains to Shane McMahon, about what he did to his father, and to him. And then he says that at WrestleMania he wants the match between Shane McMahon and himself in a Falls Count Anywhere match. Yeah. So Shane McMahon comes out. Also Miz says something about he's been here for over 13 years, busting his ass and all that, and also Shane McMahon comes out. But Shane McMahon didn't come out yet, by folks. First we have security's coming out. They basically blocking the aisleway, and then we got let me see who. I'm pretty sure it was either Epico or Primo. Okay, it was Primo coming out of catering, along with Sean Benjamin, and along with Sandy. Basically, taking no time away from catering, and they're in their wrestling gear, by the way. Same guys that has been featured on SmackDown TV for a long ass fucking time, but they're in the wrestling gear. Basically, they're blocking the stage way because Shane McMahon comes out now. Shane McMahon does his dance, that he does every time. So like, okay, so Shane McMahon is being the cocky heel. I thought he's just gonna be a generic heel and everything, but now he is being the cocky heel and the type of heel that where Shane's a pussy. But in this day and age, you can't say that. Because it's PG now, and also we're living in the PC world, in WWE right now. That chant was a big deal for where pertains to Shane McMahon back when he was a heel. Back during the Attitude Era and the Invasion Era, and there you go. So most likely in the Invasion Era, because it was most likely Shane McMahon being called Shane's a pussy during that time. So but. Yeah, because he was being a cowardly heel. That's the reason they were chanting Shane's a pussy. But anyways, so Shane McMahon cuts a promo. Basically, he said the securities are it's not for his protection, it's for Mrs. protection. And Shane McMahon reflects about what he did to the Miz and the Miz's dad. Basically, he makes the match official where it pertains to a false count anywhere match, basically. And Shane McMahon says that the biggest Miz stake, you see, that's what Shane did, basically. But I'm going what he said there. Shane McMahon was saying, because the Miz and Miss, so he says the biggest Miz stake in the Miz's life is that. When they gave birth to the Miz, and basically the whole where George McShannon impregnated the Miz's mother, and then out came the Miz, who was a mistake in life. So this pissed off the Miz. He goes out there to try to get the Shane McMahon. He beats him on the securities, beats all of them up, and then Sean Benjamin goes. Well, actually, Primo goes after the Miz, only gets sent by the steel steps, and that took him out for a long time. Okay. Then Sean Benjamin comes in. Basically, a wrestler's attacking the Miz one at a time. Miz takes Sean Benjamin out by ramming him into the ring post, and that took him out for a long time. Okay. Then Sandy, all three members of Sandy beat up on the Miz, and the Miz became Super Miz and basically destroyed the entire member of Sandy. Eric Young, Alexander Wolf, even Killian Dane. And Miz, basically all this is to try to get to Shane McMahon. Shane McMahon is still on stage, and he was like peeking, and basically in case the Miz did get to them, Shane McMahon was going to run away anyways, either way. But Miz fought them all off. Miz goes at ringside, and he goes around, and then basically they cut away. And I don't know. Right there, they should have been done even more with that, but whatever. All right, main event time, which is the tag team gauntlet match: New Day versus Carl Anderson, Luke Gallows, basically the club, the Good Brothers, or whichever you want to say, This didn't last like about 2 minutes. It was like under 2 minutes. Gallows and Anderson lost. That tells you right there that they're gonna be leaving. And by the way, the whole thing with the whole rumors about they're turning down a multi-million-dollar deal from WWE if they resign. And and Carl Anderson denied it, along with his son on Twitter, Instagram, wherever it was. WWE just show right there that they did turn down that offer, and how WWE decided to handle that, have them just lose immediately. Wow. So also we get Shinsuke Nakamura and Rusev coming out. They lasted longer than than the club. I guess I don't know for how long, but I'm assuming about 8 to 9 minutes basically. And then Nakamura took the pin by from Xavier Woods. And then the bar comes out. Sheamus and Cesaro. They lasted longer. With the they basically lasted longer, like about what, maybe 12 to 13 minutes with the bar. And they lost. The bar lost. And the bar ends up beating up on Biggie and Xavier Woods. And also Biggie and was put to a table. About Bobby, folks, before I move on, I need to point out who was there to support the New Day, besides Kofi Kingston. Because again, the Scarlet match is still undetermined who's going to be. The Scarlet match determines for the New Day to win, so that Kofi Kingston could go to WrestleMania to face Daniel Bryan for the WWE Championship. For WrestleMania. So yeah, here are the names that were there backstage. Obviously, Kofi Kingston, Becky Lynch, Rey Mysterio Jr., the Hardys, and basically they show them first, and then they cut way back to the match during Carl Anderson Luke Gallows match, and then somewhere around Nakamura and Rusev match. Also, we see Nikki Cross there. We see the Fabulous Truth, which is Carmella and R-Truth. And then when it returns to the bar, also they show Naomi there. They show The Miz. They show Asuka there. Yeah, we're gonna have Asuka lose her belt from Charlotte Flair on that night, and say, I don't care. I'll just be with you guys to support Kofi Kingston. Mustafa Ali shows up too. And they're not calling him by Mustafa Ali anymore, folks. They call him by Ali now. That's gotta be the most stupidest decision that WWE has ever made. And they made a lot of stupid ones too, but this is stupid. And then also Ricochet, also Black shows up, Heavy Machinery shows up, which is Otis and Tucker. And by the way, two other guys that also lost their full names too. So, with that being said, so now let's get back to the Gauntlet match. So yeah, I mentioned before, the tag teams that should be in the Gauntlet match. Sandy, not there, because they got beaten up anyway. So. But the Hardy Boys, yeah, they don't want to be part of that Gauntlet match, because they want to support Kofi Kingston. They want to support the New Day, so that they could win. So that Kofi Kingston go to WrestleMania. Yeah, screw them having been in the Gauntlet match, right? No, it's just heels, right? Well, that's the case. Then why Sandy couldn't be in there then? Oh, Bobby, I know something here too, folks. I want to go. I'm sorry to get off topic here, but I'm gonna get back to Carl Anderson, Luke Gallows. You know the whole thing when they do the 2 sweet sign. This whole thing when they do the whole fist bump and they do this. Well, I noticed when they came out there, they didn't do that. They didn't even do that. They went like this. When they did the fist bump, and then they did this. That tells you right there that WWE is burying these guys, and because they turned down the offer, WWE's gonna just bury them and not care about them anymore. What does AJ Styles think about this, by the way? Here's the thing about AJ Styles. He signed a new contract. It's a better offer that Anderson and Gallows got when they turned it down. And on top of that, AJ Styles got a new puppy. But anyways, so yeah, back to this now. So the Usos comes out. They start coming out. They're talking a big game. All of a sudden they get a microphone, and I knew where this was heading. So they see Big E and Xavier Woods, being already beaten down. Especially Big E, pertains to him going to the table. So basically, they said, they've been through war against the New Day, and basically said also they also support Kofi Kingston. They want to see him go to WrestleMania for the W Championship, and they said, New Day, you earn our respect, and we forfeit. And basically, they're referring to everything that New Day and the Usos been through from 2017. What's 2017? Yes, 2017. The wars they had, which was, I'll say this: it was incredible. The matches they be having, especially the time where I was not supportive of New Day. I'm still not supporting New Day, by the way, folks. I'm just saying that with this one, basically, because it's the thing, they're good. They are good wrestlers. I just hate the way they carry themselves all these years. All the nonsense that they've been doing. But yeah, I enjoy. I like that though. The Usos, they're supposed to be heels, and all of a sudden I guess they turn on faces on that night now. Maybe because think about it, they were kind of heels a little bit against Shane McMahon and the Miz, when they were they teamed up and everything. You could say kind of they were heels, but or you could say or no way you could say but they're betweeners. So when this happened, Dan Bryan and Rowan backstage are losing their minds. Dan Bryan and Rowan throwing stuff around the TV monitors, big TV screen basically, not monitor, chairs and all that. And Dan Bryan will do a chair that almost hit Rowan, and then the TV that apparently that was supposed to be broken that went down. Also, I saw that on the TV. There was one on the TV screen, and all of a sudden it looked like it was not broken at all. Like, wow, that must be more strong TV. But Daniel Bryan was like he's losing his mind because he does not want to face Kofi Kingston at WrestleMania. He's like, this is bull crap and everything. Okay, and then we get to the final tag team, which is Daniel Bryan and Roman. So they had a match. I forgot how long this lasted. I guess you could say for almost 10 minutes, maybe. Or maybe about 8. But anyways, so I'm thinking to myself, how the New Day is going to win this one here? So basically, Rowan tried to put Xavier Woods to the table, broadcast table, basically, like he did with Kofi Kingston last week. And Dan Bryan was taken up on the match, by the way, because of Xavier Woods. Big E, he goes to, I'm trying to remember how he did it. Oh yeah, it was a clothesline to Rowan, and Rowan goes over the table. Big E lifting up the table, and Rowan trying to get back up, but gets crushed by the table. And Rowan was legal in the match, so the referee's going for a count. The count of 10. Doing the 10 count. Finally, we get the New Day in the ring, and Rowan was counted out. So Daniel Bryan and Rowan lost. So basically New Day wins. The entire they won the gauntlet match. They ran through the gauntlet and they won. And then also everyone and Kofi Kingston going crazy out backstage and everything. The crowd's going nuts. The commentary's going nuts. Even Byron Saxton's going nuts. And you got Greg Hamilton saying your winner, and New Day, and which means Kofi Kingston is going to WrestleMania to face the WWE champion and everything. So if this man's getting ready to leave in his limo, they show basically this man getting ready to leave. Caleb Braxton stops him and saying, "Does this mean Kofi Kingston is going to WrestleMania?" And I asked myself, "Didn't you not just hear the ring announcer? Like, Caleb Braxton, I love you, but that was dumb for you. That was so dumb for you to say that." But this man basically answered the question and say, yes, he's going to WrestleMania. He's going to face he said the B+ player is going to face Daniel Bryan for the WWE Championship. Now he didn't say that. I'm just saying. He said Kofi Kingston is going to WrestleMania to face Daniel Bryan for the WWE Championship. So I think he leaves. So we got an entire SmackDown locker room that was watching on backstage. To come out there to celebrate with the New Day, and basically to celebrate for Kofi Kingston that he's going to WrestleMania for the WWE Championship. And then Byron Saxton said, "You know what? I'm going to celebrate with them too." He took off his headset and everything, and they all surrounded the ring, banging on the ring, basically on the ring apron. By the way, I forgot to mention this too. During the match between Daniel Bryan and Rowan versus New Day for this one gauntlet match, also we see Kevin Owens and Usos backstage too. So I forgot to mention that part. So, but basically they all came out anyways to celebrate with the New Day for Kofi Kingston, because Kofi Kingston's going to WrestleMania to face Daniel Bryan for the WWE Championship, and then you see Daniel Bryan right there, looking in disgust that this whole thing happened. And that was the show for SmackDown. Talking about wrestling for SmackDown, 3 matches. My overall rating for the show, I'm going to go 6 out of 10. Yeah, it was a good show. I still didn't like the fact that Asuka lost the WWE SmackDown Women's Championship to Charlotte Flair. And that was WWE SmackDown Live from March 25th, 2019. And now let's get to WWE 205 Live Review. Show from March 26, 2019. Basically the same venue, same place, basically from SmackDown Live. Like for example, in Newcastle, Connecticut. Nigel McGuinness, Vic Joseph, and Aiden English are commentators. Different commentators, basically. So this won't take long, folks. So let's get to it. The Lucha House Party. They welcome everyone to SmackDown. Not SmackDown. They welcome everyone to 205 Live match to say. And they were talking some jibber jabber, and then they said it's Lucha time. And I was just sitting there, and I was not impressed, not entertained, not having fun. And all of a sudden, Drew Gulak, Jack Gallagher, and Humberto Carrillo come out to have a 6-man tag team match. Match itself, decent. And then basically Humberto Carrillo's gonna go for a moonsault, I believe, off the top rope to Kalisto, but then Drew Gulak told him, no, you can't do that. No flying. And that distraction led to a slew del Sol by Kalisto knocking off Drew Gulak off the apron, pinning Humberto Carrillo, and get the 3 count in the win. So Lucha House Party wins. And I didn't care. But I did care about what happened after the match, because Humberto Carrillo looking a little pissed off and upset that Drew Gulak distracted him and not let him do what he wanted to do. And Jack Gallagher was trying to calm things down and everything. So there you go. We get Kayla Braxton interviewing Mike and Maria Kanellis about Mike Kanellis' victory last week and everything, about Maria Kanellis getting involved and all that. And Maria Kanellis, making this excuse that he's a great wrestler and everything. And then also Drake Maverick shows up, the 205 Live general manager, and talks about basically it's going to be a rematch for. Oh, sorry, I thought I saw something. Of Mike Kanellis versus Akira Tozawa, and since Maria Kanellis is going to be in his corner, basically in Mike Kanellis' corner for Akira Tozawa, D. Brian Kendrick is going to be in his corner for next. I'm assuming that's going to be next week's match. I'm assuming, and I didn't care. Then we get Buddy Murphy. He was at the Performance Center in Orlando, Florida. He says, he's not gonna be there, at Connecticut where Tony Nese is at, because he's doing this to protect the main, their match for WrestleMania, where it pertains to the Cruiserweight Championship. And all of a sudden, as he's talking, because he's at the Performance Center, and we see a couple guys from the Performance Center walking away because they're closing up anyways. They're finishing up, and all of a sudden I see Tony Nese there. Like, wait a minute, I thought he was at 205. I thought he was at 205 Live. And as soon as I saw him in the background, like, wait a minute, that's Tony Nese. And like, because the lights were was kind of a little off and like that, and like he's still there. I'm sorry, I meant to say he was actually there. I'm like, okay, and all of a sudden he attacked. He goes right after Buddy Murphy as Buddy Murphy was talking. and also we got these guys that were there. That was freaking not the fight and everything. So yeah, I enjoyed this. That was pretty cool. I was not I wasn't really expecting Tony's to be there, at the performance center, because I was convinced by Blaine Murphy that he was at 205 Live, in Connecticut. And that was it. And that's basically one of the things I did care about on the show here, because this is the only build for wrestling for these two, Blaine Murphy and Tony Nese, leading to WrestleMania pre-show. And plus, I'm excited to see this match too, Blaine Murphy and Tony Nese. And then we get to the main event. I meant to say Ariya Daivari versus Cedric Alexander. And I say to myself, why is this the main event? Not against these two, especially to Cedric Alexander. I'm saying to myself, why is this the main event? Sure enough, Orton Elkins comes out. And I say to myself, why is he coming out? And he's looking disappointed. He's next to commentators, but he don't want to sit with them or even talk to them. He wants to sit by himself. He takes off his jacket, and he shows a shirt that says "Only Rules." And I say to myself, what's going on here? So the match began. Match itself was decent. All of a sudden, match started picking up to being pretty good. Cedric Alexander go for his Tope Con Hilo onto Ariya Daivari near the commentator, and Orton Elkins acting like he was gonna get hit with it. Because when I'm standing on the side, I'm gonna just move away, or flinch basically, because Cedric Alexander was landing on me. Yeah, I thought just the way it was done, I thought that was stupid. So anyways, So also, Cedric Alexander accidentally knocked his jacket off the commentary desk, and then Orton was like, wait, he was like getting angry and pissed off that that's my jacket you knocked off and everything. Cedric gets distracted because of that. As he put Ariya Daivari back in the ring, and Orton keeps distracting him, saying that's my jacket you knocked off, like what's wrong you and all that. I'm like, okay, so now I get why Orton is there. It was for Ariya Daivari to pick up a win over Cedric Alexander being distracted, and sure enough, that's what happened. He rolled him up for the win, so Ariya Daivari defeats the former Cruiserweight champion Cedric Alexander, and then Orton attacks Cedric Alexander, and they start fighting a little bit outside the ring. We get a couple of officials coming out there to break it up. Also, Orton with one punch knocking out Cedric Alexander, and Orton and by the way, and as this is all going on too, by the way, Orton was saying basically yelling and at Cedric, saying, you took my dream away, something like that. It was, basically, where Reigns is going to WrestleMania, even though it's going to be on the pre-show anyways. And don't let that fool you, folks, where Reigns is WWE. Just because they say that these cruiserweights are going to a Royal Rumble or whatever pay-per-views they'll be doing for these cruiserweights, don't fool you. The pre-show doesn't matter. Like they said at Survivor Series. From the, when they were talking about when they said that the pre-show doesn't matter. So don't let that fool you. Just because they're going to wrestle before WrestleMania starts does not mean they're going to WrestleMania. You can and if you need more proof of that, Neville, Austin Aries. That match on the pre-show DVD came out. That match was not even featured on the DVD. And that was one of the greatest matches that WWE has had for WrestleMania, but it was on the fucking pre-show. But anyways, that was the show. So it was only two matches on the show. My overall for the show, but and by the way, the match itself, I was like whatever, but and Orton Elkins, that interested me a little bit because I'm thinking about, so wait a minute, so he's gonna be a heel now, even though he's teaming up with Danny Burch and they're a tag team, a babyface tag team, and now Orton Elkins is gonna be a heel. Oh, so we're gonna do this whole thing where 205 Live is a different platform than NXT. It's the same fucking company. I don't know if that's what they're gonna do, but we'll see what happens with that. But that being said, oh yeah, 4 out of 10 by the way. This I thought the show was not that exciting to watch anyways. So let's just give it 4 out of 10. Hopefully next week will be better, especially next week where it pertains to Buddy Murphy and Cedric. No, Buddy Murphy and Tony Nese, I meant to say. So there you go. That being said, yeah, basically this was your 205 Live review from March 25th, 2019. I almost said 2018 there. That being said, thank you all for watching. This is WWE SmackDown and 205 Live review. It's a natural born thriller. Saying peace on the streets.